Hey everyone, if you didn't know, the PlayStation 5 Pro was revealed with a price point yesterday. And that price point is $960 Canadian without the stand, without the disc drive. I'm going to be going in Canadian Maple money because I am in Canada, and it sounds so much worse. So let's get on with it. $965 or $60, sorry, is the PS5 Pro in Canada. If you want the disc drive, that'll probably be like $100 more, so pretty much $1,100 because you have to remember you got to add on tax as well. So the PlayStation 5 Pro is pretty much $1,000 in Canada. I have a PS5. I'm not buying a Pro. I have my computer for anything that I want to really look at like that. So that my computer is my expensive gaming machine. My PlayStation is my Sony gaming machine, right? So let's take a look at the reveal trailer, see what the comments are saying, and just take a look at the general, I guess, attitude around it, which is, I'm pretty sure, oh god, people are mad. So, hey, let's see. Look at that. PlayStation 5 Pro console reveal. Oh, it's beautiful. Introducing. It's gonna look the exact same. The next leap, oh my god, in console gaming. Bow, bow, down, down, it's a bow, bow. Heat fans, heat fans. Oh, so it's a PS5, but they gave it a racing stripe. They gave it a little landing strip to just land your plane on. Cool. Little strip of land, little farmland. Oh god, PlayStation Special Super Resolution. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. High frame rate. Wow. They can maybe do 120 FPS. Feature only available on select PS5, right? PS5 games and everything. Okay. Look at that. PlayStation. Advanced ray tracing. See, you can trace your rays even harder. Feels good, right? PlayStation 5 Pro. Witness play unleashed. So, vertical stand sold separately. I don't know if you see that. Vertical stand sold separately. Buying this for 960 Canadian is only the PS5 Pro, no disc version. Play has no limits. Well, I don't know. It sounds pretty limiting. So people are pissed off. No, actually, 700 for stand, no disc drive is just insane. 700, don't buy. World is on fire. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that one. Not sure Sony's smoking having top tier console disc drive is insane. The PS6 is sold without a controller and PS7 is sold in bundles, so you can assemble it yourself. Next PlayStation is just a PC. It's just a self-assembled PC. No dice drive, no buy. Nice. That looks like a bot. That looks like a bot. That doesn't look like a normal human. That looks like a bot or like a shitty AI picture. Did Sony get possessed by Apple? €800 for a digital. So everyone's pissed off. It's very expensive. $1,000 Canadian, pretty much. Oh my god. Because in Canada, it sells for $960, and then you get taxed when you buy it. So it'll be $1,000. It'll be $1,000. So they added a racing stripe to it. That's pretty cool. Hey, my PS5 doesn't have any racing stripe. I got that OG. So it has a racing stripe. That's cool. That's nice, and it's faster. Like that's all you're gonna get nowadays is just a better console, but it's so expensive. Holy shit. If we take a look at the technical presentation with Mark Cerny, you can see everyone's still mad. Everyone's mad about the price. Every single person is not happy with the price. And that's understandable, okay? Like, why would people be happy with the price? I could go right now, I could go buy a PS5 digital slim edition for $580 Canadian, or the PS5 Pro for 960 Canadian, or I can get the PS5 with the disc drive, 650 Canadian. It's still expensive, okay? It's still very, very expensive, but it's not as expensive as it could be. So you see what they did here? They went from like a racing stripe to like way more racing stripe. So that's wow. Can you believe it? They added like 2 or 3 stripes. PS5 to PS5 Pro. Like, I have this version. with no racing stripe. This is the like slim edition with the racing stripe. And now the Pro, wait for it, 3 racing stripes. Ah, they have revolutionized gaming. Oh my god. The future is now. I can't believe it. Oh, can you, oh my god, 3 racing stripes? Okay, let's take a look at the PS5 Pro technical presentation hosted by Mark Cerny. Everyone's saying it's getting like downvoted so much as 92k updoots, likes. I don't have the like how many target guessing thingy that shows like dislikes, but hey, people are saying it's like 1 to 5 like to dislike ratio. So if it's like 100,000 likes, it's like 500,000 dislikes. But that's just guessing, so don't take it too seriously.
I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup.
Thank you, Mark.
PlayStation 5 Pro and how
it
advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how.
See, okay, this is a slim edition now because it's got that 1 racing stripe.
Exceptional gaming experience.
So we're gonna talk about the PS5, then the PS5 Pro.
When PS5 debuted in 2020.
You know what? I wanted to watch this, but I don't think I wanted to do like a full 1-to-1. That's pretty interesting. 700 vertical, 800. Yeah, because everyone's just mad about that. Everyone's just mad about the price. Okay, yeah, let's go over the entirety of it. Let's find out what's going on here.
It brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU
I'll turn up the volume.
the brains of PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And enable high-speed complex gameplay with character count.
I have the PS4 version of God of War on my PlayStation 5. I should play it sometime, but I have to play through Final Fantasy. Games are pretty, but yeah, like it has hardware.
It's reaching into the hundreds.
Yeah, right?
And frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames.
120 FPS Borderlands.
PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas.
Give me those open worlds.
Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual.
So pretty much what they're trying to say is the PS5 is still pretty good, guys. They're like, guys, you don't need to get a PS5 Pro. You can just get a PS5. Think about it.
Improvements, including reflections off of water or glass.
Am I the only one that doesn't like, I don't really care a ton about ray tracing. I've played it in a handful of games and it was like, it looks good, but I feel like a lot of gaming tried to really emphasize ray tracing as the only new thing, which is just things look better, but it's a performance hit, right?
And the realism that comes.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds.
Maybe I'll buy the new Ratchet & Clank too to play through that.
And data streaming rates so high.
I want to play through a lot of my PlayStation 5 games, probably off stream just to check them out.
Traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
Oh, there's so many good games. I could play Spider-Man as well.
I'm working on it. Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games.
Oh my god, it's so bright.
With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where
Oh
they
yeah,
are.
Returnal.
Finally,
Yeah, there's a lot of
the
good games,
DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character
Like haptic feedback controls are cool, but I don't think they're anything amazing. But they're pretty interesting. I'm not mad at them. Could never be angry.
is experiencing inside of the game.
It is one of the cooler little things that you get, little weight sensitive toggles and haptic feedback. It's pretty cool.
It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
We want
The dreams
more.
of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes.
Graphics. Do you want your performance or do you want it to look prettier? Okay. If only you could get a $10,000 PS5 like runs
It can
everything.
be a difficult choice for players.
What the hell?
Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering.
This is fidelity mode. Looks pretty.
These modes might also have enhanced detail or
I don't know about you. I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I am playing it on fidelity mode. It's because it's like a turn-based action combat. I feel like I don't need to play it, but if I was playing something like Dark Souls, I would want to play that on performance mode, you know? If games require like actual dodging and more precise controls, I would definitely play that on performance mode. But if it's a more casual turn-based or like story-based cutscenes, very high experience, I'd probably play that on graphic mode. And that's what I do.
Or use
Just curious
more ray
about other
tracing.
people though.
But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The
Exactly.
visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second.
It's legitimately, do you want half the frames and it looks prettier, or do you want double the frames and it plays better? Right?
Mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates.
And honestly, you don't notice it a ton anyways, so it's not a huge deal. Like gameplay wise, you don't notice like the fidelity in games like Ratchet and Clank a ton. So I would always play performance wise.
Can be achieved.
But I play on like pretty mode because Final Fantasy games are like, it's a spectacle and it's a slower paced game. It's not a shooter either, so you don't have to aim, right?
When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time.
Yeah, of
Removing
course.
That decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro.
Like if I was playing God of War, if I was playing any action combat game that wasn't like hit target scan or like hit lock on like Final Fantasy, turn-based, light turn-based-ish action combat. Yeah, no. Performance all the way.
We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer.
I do not have the YOLO money to buy a PS5 Pro though.
To do that, PS5
I don't know
Pro
about you.
substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3.
Oh my
First,
god, it's
we
the
made
big
the
three.
GPU much
It's Naruto, Bleach, and I guess One Piece, yeah.
larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses.
Oh my
The
god,
result
dude.
is
You're gonna get RAM 28% faster? I love
much
it.
larger and increase the
RAM
speed
me
of the
boy.
memory it uses.
So this is 28% faster RAM. 67% compute units. GPU thick AF.
The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Second,
good.
We made major upgrades to the ray tracing,
It ray traces even harder. Oh my god.
taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of
Oh
PlayStation
my god.
5.
You're gonna get raid
And finally,
3
we
times
added
as
custom
fast.
hardware for machine learning. And
Awesome.
an AI library
We all know. Actually, AI-driven upscaling is really good, to be fair. I think it's actually very, very good. It's one of the good AI things, not one of them shitty fucking chatbots and like art creation
called PlayStation
bullshit ones.
Spectral Super Resolution,
Like AI-driven upscaling can actually make it look a lot better without the massive performance hit it would otherwise take.
or PSSR for short.
Pisser.
PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add
Give me
an
that pisser.
extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles.
That's
And with
good,
the
though.
big 3
No,
involved,
that is
the
good.
Results can be pretty amazing.
I think they're
With
talking about
graphics
they're gonna bring
showing
like
something
4K, 8K,
fidelity
who
levels
knows?
of detail, but it doubled the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super
Yeah, games look so good, man.
smooth
Like in
60
general.
frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity.
It's barely even noticeable. Holy shit. You're going to notice it, like, it's less noticeable over something like YouTube. You'll notice it a bit better on a big screen. If you're watching on a TV, it's probably more noticeable. Because, like, obviously, this is going to be clear. This is going to be a little fuzzier. This is going to be prettier overall. It's going to be more textured, less blurred, right? More blurred. But you really have to, like, stop to look.
PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Oh, no, that I do notice that. Like, the 60 FPS is much better on the right side.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like
That's the thing. You're spending like $1,000 for better performance, essentially. You're just spending $1,000 for a more expensive computer. That's all it always is, right?
Graphics at performance frame rate has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Like, yeah, it's a bit noticeable, but it's not ever going to be
Ratchet and
huge.
Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation.
Yeah, the biggest difference will always be like the frame rate. If it can look great at 60 FPS, good.
5.
And it does already look great. Like,
Another
fuck.
way to compare the two consoles.
It's not even a
is to look
huge
at
difference.
PS5 Pro versus performance mode.
Like,
on
it is, but
PS5,
not.
Both of which target 60 frames per second.
Yeah, let's do it.
What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Look how they're zooming in on a guard tower in the background to be like, look, see, the windows have mesh. This is so funny. Yeah.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet and Clank.
Bruh.
Distant details
It's
are
so hard to notice, okay? It's so
PS5 Pro
freaking
is
hard
the
to
parade
notice.
scene.
Look, like, you barely notice the difference. Yeah,
From
just-
Ratchet and
come
Clank.
on.
Distant details are much clearer. And here
They're
we can see
zooming in
Marvel's
on,
Spider-Man 2.
they're zooming in on like the random robot guy, and you barely see a difference. That's so funny. Yeah, obviously this is clearer, but like, dude, you're not microscoping the background. Eat my ass. Come on, that's not happening. That's so funny. It is more noticeable in the crowd. Like, don't get me wrong. I just think it's so funny.
And here we can see Marvel's
Like, it's gonna look better, but like. Come on, man. Ooh, spend 1,000. Look at those background crowds you're not going to be looking at because you're playing the game. Ooh. It, like, don't get me wrong. It's always a good thing to have better performance and better everything. It's just these examples are hilariously funny and so minor that it's just pathetically, like, rough because they're asking for $1,000 for this console.
Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout.
Yeah, PlayStation's now going to be the expensive console. They won the console wars, so they're like, we'll track it up, dude. We'll have a more expensive, like, PC. You can buy a $1,000 PC and it'll get pretty good performance too, and you can have so much more things to do on a PC. So we're really hitting the era of, do you want to be with Microsoft PC, Sony PlayStation, Nintendo as like the, Nintendo will probably be the cheapest or most casual friendly console. Or an Xbox if you also have like a PC and also like Xbox stuff, right? Like, yeah, it's just, you choose whatever you want. You will have a lot of options now. So yeah, I'm not mad at the PS5 Pro. I'm annoyed that everything's so goddamn expensive. But like, it has its place, and you can just buy a PS5. So who gives a shit, right?
Out the scene.
You see these tiny NPCs and vehicles. Look how much better it looks on the PS5 Pro. Oh my god.
Including the trees.
If we zoom into my right butt cheek's ass hair, can you see that minute detail? Nice.
And
Juicy.
procedural cars.
Yeah, that's right. If we zoom into this NPCs, can you see their voluptuous booty?
And procedural cars.
No, you can't. See? And that's why you need the PS5 Pro, so you can check out everyone's booty.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games.
Yeah, Ember Heirloom and Warframe's gonna look so much better.
On PS5
Ray
Pro,
tracing,
you can see
baby.
Increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This
Shocking.
is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning.
I think AI-driven upscaling is probably the huge difference. But who knows?
The PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there is...
I've just heard really good things about how, like, performance enhancing AI-driven upscaling can be. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the washroom. I'm chugging my drink. Let's continue looking at Ratchet and Clank AI-driven upscaling.
Many approaches as there are game engines. The
True.
increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail
Well, yeah, it's a very pretty game. Can't deny that.
boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects. As well
Like,
as
it
to
looks
the
great.
hair and the skin in cinematics.
I should play it
Open
one day.
up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding
I like that they're just like, guys, it'll look better and more frames. Guys, it'll look better. Guys, it'll look better. That's so far what they are.
broad usage
Just
as
saying.
well. particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The
True.
faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference.
Yeah, like hopefully way less frame drops in games.
Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay.
Hey, reflections. Yeah, but like it's hard to be like, guys, this is gonna cost so much more than the previous console, and it'll run a little better, it'll look better, because a lot of people will not be noticing huge differences. The issue is there's just not enough like interesting new tech that they can hype up, right? So they just have to talk about like nothingness of being like, oh, it'll look better. See these crowds? They'll look a little better. It just seems funny, you know?
While continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second.
I'm just here to clown it because it's so expensive, really.
Ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, looks good. It was a fun
Allowing
game.
not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also
Hell
for
yeah.
further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro.
I always love when they talk about ray tracing. So it's always just like reflections and shadows, baby. Reflections and shadows. It's like, yep, lighting does lighting things. Don't get me wrong, everything looks great. It's just if you already have a PS5 and you're not like a big enthusiast, you probably will not want to buy a PS5 Pro at that price point. And if you want to get into PlayStation games, it's like, ooh, a PS5 Pro is a big ask. That's a lot of money, okay? Like a grand? Whew, grand Canadian, 1,100? That's a lot of fucking money.
It's the most powerful console we've ever built, and
It's like a new
worthy
stove.
addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you
Shitty
a quick
stove,
look
but-
at a number of games running on the new console.
Oh, let's see what. Okay, I'm not gonna let that play. I don't trust that music. Sony. PlayStation. See, they added 2 more racing stripes to it. The Slim had 1 racing stripe. The original had 0. This one has 3. Oh my god, they skipped past 2 racing stripes. Oh my god. That's revolutionary. Right? Because it just looks like another PlayStation 5. It looks the exact same. Wait. Why don't they say stand not included right here? The stand costs extra money, okay? Stand disk drive costs extra money. Next thing you know, you're just gonna cost extra money to get it clean. It'll show up dirty with shit stains on it or something. 3 whole stripes, baby. Look at that. That's right, we're Final Fantasying. I'm playing this game right now. Well, Rebirth. Look at that. Ooh. That's looking nice. That's looking pretty good. Last of Us, yeah, okay. Some Dark Souls remake. Demon Souls, I mean. Yeah, okay, good stuff. Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. Oh, get spookered. Ghost of Tsushima, maybe? Yep, nice. Good stuff. My ghosts have never been more Tsushima. Oh, my Gran Turismo. Oh, they have the titles in the bottom right. Sometimes. Okay, Spooderman. Venom. Oh, dude, he's Hogwartsing his legacy. Nice. Look at that Drift King. Holy shit. What was that? Was that First Descent? It is! Okay. I'm like, is this the First Descendant? Was that Jeremy when he died? I'm like, that's that bitch ass Jeremy right before he died. Okay. Fuck you, Jeremy. We're all Jeremy haters here. Oh, some Dragon's Dogma, I think. Oh, I still have to play through and finish Dragon's Dogma. That's some good stuff. Like, whew. See how pretty this is looking? Vertical sands, sold separately. Okay, so that's $699, like $700 American. It's $1,000 Canada. Okay, I'm just saying it right now. It's $1,000 Canadian. I think it's $960 pretty much Canadian with tax and everything. It's $1,000 Canadian, dude. We were just getting bent over and over the coals, just reamed over here in Canada. Holy crap! Yeah, that's an expansive price point, my dudes. It makes sense probably because it's more expensive hardware. Like, that's the thing. If we're looking at like a computer, I could easily build a $3,000 computer. That's just a 4090 pretty much for me, right? That's the thing. PlayStation, if they wanted to, that's digital only, no stand, no disc drive, 700 base American, okay? 950, 960 Canadian. But here's the thing, like, hardware is hardware. They could make a $3,000 PlayStation if they wanted, and just have that with really high-end hardware. So, like, they could have made a cheaper one, but honestly, they probably were like, there's no point. Why would we make a PS5 Pro with like no noticeable performance increase, right? That's what I'm assuming is going on here. Like, you just have more expensive hardware. I could build my $5,000 computer again, and it's not even, it could be better. Like, I could buy a really high-end GPU, a 4090, and a really high-end i9, what is it, like 14th, 15th gen now? I don't know. I could buy the highest end consumer grade GPU and CPU. That shit's like 5,000 Canadian almost. So it's like, the price is insanely expensive, but that's just because everything's insanely expensive. And I assume they just want to have a higher performance and not make a whole new console at a lower performance increase. So I get it. Shit just sucks. Everything's hella expensive. There's just like, shit just sucks, right? So just stick with your PlayStation 5. I'm not planning to buy any sort of PS5 Pro. And everyone's roasting the price, but it's like, what can you do? Would you want either just like a really shittier, weaker version of like the PS5 Pro, sell it at the same price as a PS5 or like a little more? Like, that's not gonna happen, because like the PS5 is still selling like hotcakes. So I get it. This just makes sense to me. If you don't want to buy a PS5 Pro, you can just buy a PS5 at the normal price point. But the PS5 Pro is going to be like the expensive FU type of variant. But like, they could have made a $2,000 console, right? Like, it's very expensive, but that's just the way gaming is going. I'm not surprised. It just sucks, right? You know, everyone's saying they're not going to buy it. So many of them are going to buy it. This is going to make so much fucking money. You think that, no, it's going to make so much money. 700 for the PS5 Pro, 960 Canadian. Add-on tax, that's $1,000. Disk drive, that's an extra 80, so that's like 1,100 Canadian, because that's an extra like 100. Vertical stand, 30 bucks. Yep. Still playing PS4 games? Priceless. Hell yeah. Sony, you motherfuckers gonna pay for Concord one way or another. Play has no limits, except being able to use a disc you already own. Extra 700 to see leaves in the background with an extra pixel and makes looks crispier. Exactly, we love it. So, this might just... legitimately, this might push normal PlayStation 5 sales over PS5 Pro, but I don't know, it makes sense. It's expensive as shit and it sucks, but like, that's the way gaming is going. Why would they release another PS5? It looks like they want to stick to their cycle. They could just wait to release a PS6 in another freaking 5 years. No. I get it. It sucks, but I get it. If we look at PlayStation 5 release date quickly, I'm just gonna Google it. Well, you can see that the PS5 came out November 12th, 2024. So 4 years, that's their life cycle. They released the console. 4 years later, they released a pro version of it. They released a thin version of it like 2 years in or something, right? It hasn't even been that long. And now we're getting the gamer of the gameriest consoles. The PS5 has shit on Xbox and like Nintendo so much because they're now just like, we are the gamer console. If you're a gamer, you either have a PC or a PlayStation, okay? You might also have your Nintendo Switch, and you might also have like an Xbox, but it's like, if you're on Xbox, you might as well have a computer if you're doing a lot of like computer type stuff. You might just like Xbox, Game Pass and all that, which is fair and understandable. But a lot of people are like, no, I'm going to buy a PlayStation and have a computer. People who have, you know, can get that. Or just get a cheap computer, you know, that still can run games well. So yeah, now this is all pretty interesting. I think the PlayStation 5 Pro will do fine and it'll kill it. It's just so expensive, so it's wild to me. But that's just the way the gaming market's going now. PS5 Pro, FU expensive. Dang. That's pretty insane. Either way, let me know what you think, everybody. Cheers, cheers.